Hello everyone, it's Jayska from a Diamond and Sticks YouTube channel. And the last time we did a video like this, we went over this character next to this character. His name is Leon S. Kennedy. He is from the Resident Evil franchise. And you do have to buy his characters with cash money. You can't buy him with iridescent shards. So today we're going over the character next to him. This side of the right hand side, the female, her name is, her name is Mikaela Reid. And as you can tell, she is prestige to a level 100. Mikaela Reid, she's prestige to a level 100. This is the only character on the survivor side that this person's account that I play on has prestiged, and I did it for him because I used the account to 100 on the survivor side. So he's only got one survivor prestige to 100, and this is her, and he's got one killer prestige to 100, and it's the trapper. So anyways, this is what I have her dressed like, and that's the person's account that I play on Steam and all their other resources. So this is what I have Mikaela Reid dressed like. Let's get into her bio about her. Mikaela Reid was 16 when her father passed away. She would have always missed his selling lessons at dawn, his colorful yet inedible tacos, and his warm, contagious laughter. She felt like she was paddling in a vast storm, black ocean, each rolling wave submerging her, drifting in painful darkness. She almost lost herself, but resiliently, with love and care, she made her way back to shore. Well surrounded and supported by her friends, Mikaela put the past behind her and looked at life in a new light. She was excited to try new things and discovered storytelling as an outlet. Her friends liked her stories of doubting danger and hard-earned survival. She read horror stories more and more, savoring the powerful, heart-pounding escapism it provided. Autumn became her favorite season, and she threw a grand production for Halloween every year, hosting all her friends for a thrilling night of horror stories, scary games, and homemade treats. Over the years, she also showed interest in witchcraft and practiced light blessings, plant-based spells, and palm reading divination. She gardened sage, mugwort, and lavender to craft homemade products such as body butters, soaps, and skin lotions. She aspired one day to live off the products she made for her friends and family. In the meantime, she worked as a barista at the Moonstone, an independent, eccentric coffee shop in the artsy part of town. Every Friday night, she hosted an open mic at the coffee shop, performing stories live in front of customers. Julian, her best friend and roommate, recorded some of her shows and posted them online. Also, unbeknown to her, he submitted one of her performances to the Endless Halloween Festival, where renowned storytellers performed on stage for Halloween. It was a beautiful surprise when Mikaela received an email from the festival inviting her to perform at their grand final on Halloween. The winning prize was big enough for her to launch her line of products. Excited, she burnt a stick of herbs in each room to dissipate negative energies, then began to craft her tale of horror. Mikaela stayed up all night, filing her notebooks with abandoned beginnings. She had a story in mind, but unearthing it took patience and skill. The following night, the nightmares began. For a week, she would wake in the middle of the night, gasping for air. Her dream was the same every night. She was dragged down a cold set of stairs and thrown into a dark basement. Then her lungs would be set ablaze by a sharp iron hook stabbing her in the chest. A dark figure would pull on the hook and hoist her from the ground slowly until the pain waked her. The more she finessed her Halloween tale, the darker her nightmare grew. As days passed, exhaustion, anxiety, and stress took a toll on her. Often distracted, her coffees at the Moonstone were rushed, acrid, or going to the wrong customer. She no longer blessed the coffee beans in the morning, nor looked for omens in the leftover coffee grains. Her energy was low, and her magic felt drained. When she woke up screaming one night, she had enough. She asked Julian to watch her while she slept and record anything unusual. Julian agreed and started recording while Mikaela lay on her bed. Minutes later, her fingers began to twitch, then her toes. Her breath became labored. Then Julian stared in shock as Mikaela slowly rose in the air, levitating over her bed. Panicked, he shook her shoulders to wake her, but stopped when she began to scream. He grabbed his phone to call an ambulance, but a powerful crash diverted his attention. He looked down the hallway and saw a large, spidery fang slam through the bathroom door. Amidst the commotion, Mikaela awoke. She saw the black spidery fang shredding the bathroom door and jumped out of bed. She slammed her bedroom door shut and shouted at Julian to help her barricade the door. Before he could react, however, the power went out. The room was submerged in sudden darkness. A second later, the lights came back on. An eerie quietness followed. Mikaela and Julian ventured out of the bedroom carefully. The bathroom door looked intact, and there was no sign of anything abnormal, but Julian had recorded every sound. A sleepless night followed. When she returned to the apartment after her shift, Julian was not there. Mikaela wanted him to remove the recording of their ordeal, which he had posted online. Suspecting Julian might be at school, she left the door clicked shut behind her, masking a stifled cry from the bathroom. As she neared her car, she looked over her shoulder. Mikaela felt watched. She whispered a protective spell and clutched her keys. Suddenly, a shadow pounced on the wall, and she broke into a run. She reached her car and rushed inside, locking the doors. Breathing hard, she looked through the windows. No one was there. Perhaps it was her nerves playing tricks on her. She turned on the ignition and drove off. The next day, Julian was still nowhere to be found. Mikaela had contacted everyone she knew. She looked for him all day and waited for him all night. Distraught and anxious, she missed her shift at the Moonstone. Halloween was tonight, and so was the festival. Julian had entered the storytelling competition for her. He had supported her every time she doubted herself, Maybe he would be there, but between her nightmares and Julian's disappearance, she had been too worried to prepare a story for the contest. She looked at her notebook, filled with false starts. She could stay home, scared and sleepless, or she could finish what Julian had started. There was a reason why she loved to tell horror stories. They made her feel brave enough to face any challenge. That evening, when the host called Mikaela's name at the endless Halloween festival, she boldly stepped on stage, dressed in a costume. A black dress matched with a wide, witchy hat. She hoped to spot Julian in the crowd, but she could not find him, and looking directly at the audience, was a mistake. A sea of expectant faces were before her, eyes watching her every move. Her heart pounced in her chest as her hands began to shake. She grabbed the warm microphone and cleared her throat. A thick silence greeted her, only interrupted by a distant cough. She reminded herself that tonight was All Hallows Eve, when the veil thinned betwixt the realm and the one beyond. She had a story in her heart, a story that mattered. If she told it right, perhaps Julian would hear it. Mikaela took a deep breath. The wet wind of autumn whirled golden leaves around her. She inhaled the acrid smell of damp foliage. She swallowed the bitter aftertaste of coffee still on her tongue. Distant crows called from an old oak tree. She closed her eyes. The crimson darkness under her eyelids turned darker. Her heartbeat slowed. She exhaled deeply, her breath a puff of mist in the cold night air. Now she felt awakened, refreshed for the first time in weeks, and ready to tell the tale of a lifetime. She spoke into the microphone in a deep, haunting voice. She narrated a tale of billowing winds on a cold autumn night, of a loyal friend disappearing before daylight, of forgotten victims hiding in the wings of darkness, of throbbing graves sealed with terrible secrets, and of an eternal night in the shadow of death. Mikaela pointed at the night sky and said that no darkness was truly beyond light. Even on the moonless night, the sky shined with long dead stars. A thick black fog engulfed Mikaela to the audience's amazement, and no one saw Mikaela Reid again. So that's her bio. Okay, now let's go up to her perks. When she first came out into this game, I don't know if you have to buy her or not. I'm not sure on that. You might be able to buy her with shards. I'm not sure. Iridescent shards. But anyways, when she first came out to this game, I loved using all her perks. But now, I really don't use but maybe like 2 of her perks. And I do enjoy playing her, as you can tell, because she's the only one that I've prestiged up to level 100. But let's get into her perks. Clairvoyance. It's a rare perk because it's in the purple. There is an instinctive energy in you that sees beyond your vision. Clairvoyance activates when you cleanse or bless a totem. When empty-handed, hold the ability button to unlock your full aurora reading of potential. For up to 10 seconds, you see the auroras of exit gates, switches, generators, hooks, chests, and the hatch within 64-meter range. Does anyone else see that? Just me, Mikaela Reid. That's her quote. Boon, Circle of Healing. It's a very rare perk because it's in the purple. A boon that offers comfort amidst the terror. This used to be a really good perk, but it's not as good as it used to be. But anyways, Press and hold the ability button 1 near a dual or hex totem to bless it or create a boon total. Soft chimes ring out in 24-meter range. Any survivors within the boon totem's range gain 100% healing speed bonus to healing others. Medkits give no bonus to healing in the boon's totem's range. Injured survivors had their aurors revealed to all other survivors inside the boon totem's range. You can only bless one totem at a time. All equipped boon perks are active on your boon totem. Try this, it's better than anything you'll find in a pharmacy. Mikaela Reid, that's her quote. Boon Shadow Step. I use this one kind of quite a bit. It's in the purple, so it's a very rare perk. Press and hold the ability button near a dual or hex totem to bless it and create a boon totem. Soft chimes ring out in a 24-meter range. Any survivors within the boon totem's range will have their scratch marks and aurors hidden to the killer. This effect lingers for 4 seconds after leaving the boon totem's range. You can only bless one totem at a time. All equipped boon perks are active on your boon totem. Stick to the shadows and cover your tracks. Mikaela Reid, that's her quote. Alright, let's go into her customizations. I have quite a few customizations that I bought for her or I've earned for her because I've got her prestige to level 100. She has the Witching Hour outfit. That's the one that I have on her right now. She has this Night Market outfit, Bloody Mikaela Reid outfit, Moonstone Diviner outfit, Fire Quartz Gazer, Spring Quartz Gazer, Water Quartz Gazer, Energy Boost spell in the blue, Good Luck spell in the green, Love spell in purple, Mikaela Reid, that's her original outfit, Sleepwell spell, it's a mixture of purples and blacks, and that's all the outfits that I have for her. This is some of her heads that I've got. Spellbound hat, pink front strands, soft round crown hat, Bloody Mikaela, tan neck hair, star ruby hair, red coral hair, bohemian headdress, witch's hat. Okay, now let's go to her loadout. This is what I have on her loadout. I'm using a lot of boon perks on her. Some of them that she came with, and then some of them that other players came with. And then this right here is her blood wheel. Once you prestige a character to level 100, it just stays at level 50, and every time you fill this up, it goes to 50 again. So that's what happens when you prestige a character to level 100. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to y'all later. That was Mikaela Reid. Thanks. Bye-bye.